Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. We talk about the short-term bullish and short-term bearish scenario here. The Bitcoin chart was discussed in one of the last videos, and I explained in the Bitcoin video that it really is quite straightforward now. You know, that the chart kind of gives us a very clear level to watch, a very clear support level against which we can focus on higher prices. And it's, you know, there's one clear level. It's always really, really good and makes it quite straightforward, quite simple. No need to make it any more complex than that. So let's talk about the short-term bullish and short-term bearish scenario. The short-term bullish one is basically the yellow count, and the thesis would be that a wave 2 already bottomed here on the 23rd of January. That swing low here that formed around $2,165. This is only possible if the wave 2 formed a so-called WXY structure with an overshooting X wave. Not a very common pattern, yeah. So it takes a little bit more evidence to confirm that a low is in, but please be aware and remember that I made you aware in previous videos that Ether has quite a bullish structure here, and that if it goes, it can take it quite quickly to 2,530 plus. So that's sort of also a move I'm waiting for. No, not to, what did I say? 3,500. 3,500 plus. And this is also what I'm waiting for. Obviously plus, you know, going higher than that. Eventually, I'm looking at 8 to 12K as a bull market target for ETH. And it's got a pretty bullish structure on the daily time frame. Looking at the shorter time frame, however, we have a little bit of ambiguity here on the chart, and it's not entirely clear if this wave 2 is already over. That's often the problem structurally when we're dealing with these patterns, the so-called flat patterns. A flat structure is a sideways correction and often doesn't offer a very clear low point. This is different to what we normally see in wave 2s, which normally create panic among investors and traders. This here didn't create panic. It's more a boring sideways correction that we normally see in a wave 4. But okay, you know, there's no need for a wave 2 to be a sharp correction. It often is, but occasionally we get these sideways corrections also in a wave 2, and that's typically a signal for bullishness. Because if we have an overshooting corrective wave, it means that even in the correction, the price tried to push any higher, tried to push higher. This is quite bullish. But anyway, in this yellow scenario, the thesis is the wave 2 bottomed. How can I confirm that? Well, it's quite simple. I need to see 5 waves up as highlighted in the yellow subwave structure. This subwave structure, which would be wave 1 of the next third wave, gives us very clear parameters to watch. It's very simple. So in this scenario, the price minimally in this third wave here needs to reach 2,530 to be relevant, to remain relevant, okay? Okay, we might be getting there. So that's the minimum expectation I highlighted in the last videos for a third wave. Better for a more reliable yellow wave count in 5 waves here, better would be the 1.38 extension at 2,566. Further extensions, of course, always possible. I'm at the moment quite happy to see that this 5th wave is also being filled in. So wave 5 of 3. I think in the last video we were still sort of hovering around the 100% extension level there. But now we get a nice and healthy 5th wave within circle wave 3. Then a 4th wave pullback should occur, which ideally reaches sort of 2,472, maybe even a little bit lower than that. I'm using the orange support zone to really track support and to track the wave 4 basically. Okay, so if we get a pullback from here, the main support level to watch is the lowest one, obviously. That's where support will break. It's at $2,344. It's the golden ratio. Because I cannot rule out that the move up is a diagonal pattern, I'm allowing for the golden ratio to be triggered, even though ideally the pullback holds above the 50% Fibonacci level, which is at $2,378. At the moment, I'm just tracking this here to see if we can reach the ideal target for a third wave, which again is at 2,566 or even higher than that. If we get a pullback from here, I'm going to use the orange box to track support. Below 2,344, I will assume that the yellow count is not relevant anymore. And that would trigger the short-term bearish scenario in which we have a B wave top in the white count, and the C wave down can send us back into the green support zone possibly around $2,017. But at the moment, as long as we're holding above support, it makes sense to focus on higher prices. This support zone obviously has to be moved with the price. I can only lock it once we have a confirmed top in place in circle wave 3. In addition to that, I will use the trend channel as support. This trend channel also has to be adjusted depending on how high the third wave goes. So it's about connecting the top of wave 1 and the top of wave 3, and then we take a parallel trend line, add it to the low point of wave 2. That gives us a parallel trend channel that we can track going forward, which might allow us to understand where the wave 4 could form a low. So overall, that means in summary, the focus is on higher prices against $2,344. Only a break below that level, a sustained break, would confirm that something more bearish is going on. And this would then be further confirmed with a break below the $2,270 level, but already below the orange box. Yeah, the likelihood for the yellow count reduces dramatically. But for now, I'm leaning bullish as long as we're holding above that box, and typically makes sense to do that until we have a full structure. So when we have 5 waves complete in yellow, then we can add an additional or the next support zone, because then the entire move up needs to be corrected, and that could allow for a deeper pullback again. But that's basically where we are currently on the Ethereum chart. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.